And to put the pop tweet out that we're going now.
Just remember, you're only popping the three of us.
Oh, it's live.
Oh,
just leave it.
We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to episode 50 of Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I'm joined by Mr. Daily Giggle himself, the Joker, and of course the man simply known as Steve. And by the looks of it, we're also being joined by Mr. J-Bone. It must be the 50th anniversary show. How are we doing, guys?
we're doing very well. It's good to see Papa J-Bo.
Good. I'm here. I wasn't gonna be here, but it just kind of happened that way. And it's growing pains. It's a growing process. It's trying to teach these guys some independence, you know, because eventually they'll be out on their own and doing their own thing. Please don't take that as they're leaving the brand. It's just them producing their own stuff. And that's why the beginning of this was a little wonky. But don't worry, Steve. It's all good, all gravy. We're just gonna keep going. I'm not gonna fire you like I fired Trent.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I think that I think Brother Steve's doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Well done, mate. We got it going. You got the intro in there. I know we got a few other special things happening, haven't we, buddy? So I'm looking forward to seeing some of those turn up, some new stuff. But anyway, it's our 50th anniversary show, guys. Our 50th anniversary show. I just want to say a quick thank you to Punk there for giving us a nice super sticker. Really appreciate that. Really do. Really appreciate that. That's fantastic. Well done, buddy. Thank you for that. So, you know, like I said, you know, it's our 50th anniversary show. I just can't believe that this is episode 50 of the currently new reformatted version of Impacted. It's been a hell of a ride. Obviously, it just started as the two-man booth, me and Joe. What are your thoughts on this, Joe? 50th anniversary show. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
God, it gives me goosebumps. You know, to think just over a year ago, I'm sat in front of a phone wondering what the hell I'm meant to be doing. Momentum starts going. I come back September and I'm still there wondering what the hell am I doing. And we're now 50 episodes in and I'm still sat there thinking, what the hell am I doing? But you know,
it's amazing. And then halfway through that, I'm trying to remember what episode it was that we became the three-man booth. Do you remember, Steve? Do you remember when you joined us?
I think
it was about 30, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was around Hard to Kill, wasn't it?
Was it Hard to Kill? I'm just trying to think. I think it was around that time. We sort of started having those discussions, and you kind of, you know, you were like, oh, I wouldn't mind getting involved, and I said, well, you know, let's just give it a go. I remember me and you I was in the car. I was driving along in the car, and we had a bit of a video call going on, didn't we? When I was driving along, and you couldn't really see me because if I remember rightly, it was dark. So it must have been around January time.
That was a good call.
It was a good call.
We kicked off the year with the three-man band.
I think we did. I think we did kick off the year, and it was a three-man booth all the way. But you know, it's great. And you know what's really good about all of this is that at the end of the day, you know, our us.
Oh, fantastic!
I can't see the name.
Episode TNI-UK. Let's fucking go.
This is sick. This whole place is going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh my God! See, I told you.
I know he was gonna be here. I wouldn't have showed the fuck up.
Exactly. I'm trying to read your screen name. I'm trying to read your screen name. What does it say? I can't see it from here.
Uncle Mark.
Uncle Mark.
Oh, it does say Uncle Mark. Sorry, I thought it might have said like Laredo Mark or something.
No,
something,
this is part of my Halloween costume. It's my first lucha mask I've ever ordered.
I've actually got a lucha mask. I've got a couple actually. I've got a Rey Mysterio one, and I've got a. Do you know what? I can't remember. It's some Californian guy. I just thought
California.
It may have been, but what? Yeah, Al California. But what I do know is that it was a cool mask, and I was like, oh, that's a cool mask. I love that one. So we've all got lucha. I might even wear that on the 51st episode, and we could call it El Bisano. How about that? El Bisano. That'd be really cool.
Shall I unmask? Is everyone shocked that it's me?
Yeah. Do you know what? I find, Mark? When I wear it, I find it is so ridiculously hot, right? Because they've got like that the proper ones have got like that foam in them, haven't they? Yeah. Right, so they're so hot, it's just crazy.
It's very restrictive. How do guys wrestle in those wrestling?
Just imagine. Look at Black Taurus. How the hell do you wrestle in that?
Eyeballs falling out and shit. I have no idea.
Oh, hell,
Josh Sykes on the rip the horn off the mask one time, so that helped relieve some of the weight.
I guess. I like it. I tell you, Anna's got it, or is it Filet, isn't it, Anna? Is that right? She's got it. Look, El Beefalo.
It's by the way.
Beefalo. That's it. El Beefalo. There you go. I told you guys we've got some special stuff coming. Now that we got Steve is going to be the producer moving forward. He's just learning the ropes, and he's added a few extra sound bites. So we've got some special stuff coming. Hang on, Steve. No, that way. Steve is the man. Steve is the man. So it's all good. We're going forward. I'd just like to say, oh my God, thank you, Justin Miller. For that. That's fantastic. That's a super sticker and half. Thank you so much, buddy. Really, really appreciate that. Can I just say a quick hello to everybody in the chat? We've got Armand's in there, Van Noir's in there, Gary's in there, Justin. We got Mears in there, Punk is in there. Like I say, Anna or Villay's in there, which is lovely to see. And of course, the legend, the ringside legend, God himself.
I've just seen it. Ringside Bill's here. Oh,
ringside
fantastic.
Bill. He's here, buddy. He's here. He's here to celebrate. But he's here to celebrate the 50th episode of Impacted.
You guys aren't going to let Justin run away with this, right? At $4.99, like surely for the 50th episode of Impacted, we can rally the troops on this one. Like I can feel it already.
Oh, right?
I see the same 5-6 names always like throwing in, and like it's time for everybody else to be heard. So let's do this.
On, let's do it, guys. Where's our names disappeared to?
Oh, that happens. That happens when you put something below. Yeah. Can I just say that I'm just insanely proud of you guys from where you started a year and a half ago, whatever it was, a year ago. It's, and I've worked with a lot of different crews over my whole podcasting. I don't want to say career, but you guys are just a great part of the brand, and the fact that it's helped grow the brand internationally. I'm so insanely proud of you guys. Seriously, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and I'm the best thing because I've been doing this. No, I'm not saying that at all. It's just working with you guys and seeing you guys grow and get better and better by the month, by the week, and whatever, to where you are now. And now you guys are about to break out like on your own. And it's man, it makes me proud. It really does. It makes me proud. Cheers to you guys. Much love.
Thank you.
Hang on, let me. I'm going to get the. I've got my John Smith's, which is very British beer, but unfortunately, it's not full of John Smith's. It's just got a bit of lemon squash. But we can pretend. we can pretend that it's John Smith. So
How
cheers.
anticlimactic! How anticlimactic and typically British is that, though? We've got a British brand, but it doesn't have what you expect it to have in.
Wait, what can I ask you? Because once in a while you throw something out there, and obviously it's like something from the UK. Can I ask you what in the blue hell is lemon squash? Is that like lemonade or something? Is that what is?
It's just like you don't really have squash, do you? But it's like a cordial. So it's like you basically what you do is just put a little drop of it in water, and then fill it up with water, and you have a nice, refreshing lemon drink, and it's really nice.
Oh,
you don't
see,
have water, it burns your teeth off.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Rob's Voice, for $5 tip. Very much. Happy
Yes.
50th, Rob's Voice says. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Rob's Voice.
Thank
That's
you,
amazing. Now, it
Great
says
supporter,
Rob's
great
Voice
supporter.
71. I mean, you're not 71, surely, Rob. I mean, I can't imagine you'd know how to use YouTube at 71, but I don't know, maybe. But anyway, thank you very much for your $5 tip. Thank you so much for that. That's pretty amazing.
That just tells me that he might have been born in 71, and that he might be just a little older than me.
Okay, maybe.
It came with the VIP thing for
love it.
Slam.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Oh, very cool.
Right. Oh,
Yeah, it was like
That's
some
cool.
kind of collectible thing, that they gave for the VIPs. It's kind of neat. I don't know, it's just up on my wall, but it just fell down. But I didn't know if you guys had seen that. It's kind of neat.
No, I
that's
didn't see
very
that,
cool.
mate. No, I didn't see
Nice.
that. What in the blue hell? No, you're right. So hang on a minute. So Anna is saying that we need J-Bone needs to tell us how to pronounce her name. But I mean, Anna's Anna, is it not?
It's Violet. It's not.
Oh,
it's-
Villet.
It's not Villet. It's
It's
violet,
violet.
like the flower. Yeah.
Violet.
Ah, but that's not how you spell.
No, it's
Violet.
not. It's don't overthink it. It's violet.
It's pronounced Violet.
It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same as for a year that Alicia was on the podcast and I was saying Alicia. And all of a sudden one day she's like, by the way, it's Alicia. And I'm like,
Oh,
you've been on here for a year and I've been saying it wrong for you. I'm like, why didn't somebody say something? I feel so stupid. So yeah, it's the same
man.
but different.
now I didn't know. Now Anna, I'm not sure where Anna's from. Is she English? Are you English, Anna? Let me know.
She's in Massachusetts, I believe.
Yeah, she's East Coast.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay, Violet. So you're in Massachusetts. I just wondered because you're always with us and you're a big supporter. So we really appreciate that.
She's
Really
awesome.
appreciate that.
She's great.
Oh, go on, Mark. Mark's giving us some stuff now. Look at that, $1.99. What
Yeah,
a
there you go.
cheapskate.
That's all I can afford. Sorry, guys, but let's fucking go. I'm paying by being on the show with my presence. And I bought this sweet new fucking Hex Girl shirt, so I can't afford it anymore.
Oh,
So,
mate,
I don't know
sorry.
if there's
Sorry
any
to hear
Scooby-Doo
that.
fans out there, but if there
Oh.
is, like, Hex Girls for life, baby.
Fair enough.
Okay,
fair
so
enough.
who's the Hex Girls?
Hex
That's-
Girls. Alicia would know the Hex Girls. They're a
Is
trio
that
of
the
vampire
NWA?
musicians. Yeah, they're
Okay.
vampire musicians from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, okay, so it's from the cartoon. I'm thinking it's
Yeah.
some like new independent women's stable
No.
wrestling
No.
thing, but no, it's just
Yeah,
well,
don't-
I gotta show off this then too. Freddie, you snooze, you lose. I guess got this one.
I decided as it was the 50th episode, I would represent, baby. You know what I
I
mean?
think everything's
Oh,
locked
man.
in a box somewhere. So
Oh, I just got a whiff of my aftershave. Lovely, absolutely lovely. But hang on, I got to do that again. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. Bit of,
You've
John
stepped
Paul
over the
Gaultier.
line now. You've taken it too far.
Hang on, guys. I'm just going to waft a bit over. Can you smell it? Oh.
It's how it smells like lemon squish.
Speak
Actually,
the King's
I'll just-
English, damn it.
Damn you! Yeah. So there you go. There.
Oh, we got another incoming.
Have
yes.
we? Oh my god!
Hey!
Thank
There we
God.
go.
Hey!
UK guy.
What a celebratory episode
Great,
this is.
you great.
Hey,
Everyone
well,
on
yeah.
Wait. I came here to finish our Tessa episode, Bison.
Oh yeah. You know what, right? This is a funny story. This is a funny story, and everybody needs to hear this, okay? Right? So, back just before Tessa was disgraced and left Impact or was sacked, or however you want to put it, literally the week before, Bill and I did a recording of an episode of Impacted, which at the time we were doing character profiles, and we did an episode on Tessa Blanchard. Now it's still there. I still got it, or somewhere. I think I've still got it. And it's never aired because the week after we were going to air it, or the week just before we were about to air it, it all went tits up. So we went. I think we'll hold off on that because like it was so positive. Like the whole thing was so positive. She's amazing. She's this. Rah, 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 rah. And then all of a sudden we were like, "What a fucking bitch!" And we were like, "There's no way they were."
Well, it re-airs if she turns back up at some point.
Exactly.
It's Patreon content at some point.
I was just gonna say that. If it's already in the can, it goes on the Patreon.
Let's get it on Patreon.
All right.
Let's get it on Patreon. It was a pretty cool. It was actually a really good. It was actually a really good one, wasn't it, Bill?
Yeah, no, it was good, but you're right. The spin on it was much more positive than.
I'll tell you what.
It would.
I'll put that in the $1 tier. So if you want to catch that and you don't want to be a like full-fledged patron, I'll give it to you for $1.
Definitely. I'm gonna have to try and dig it out now, but I definitely got it in there. I've definitely got it somewhere. I'll try and dig it out.
Yeah,
look,
I
just want to say, look, she is talented. I'm sure she's gonna wind up somewhere down the road. And I'm not saying that she's complete garbage. It's her reputation, you know. So. And I know,
oh man, she's amazing in the ring. I said this so many times. The girl is amazing in the ring, and actually, she gives a great promo as well. She's good. She's amazing talent. But bloody hell, like seriously, all the crap in the background is just, and behind the scenes and in the locker room, and it's just like and doing scumbaggy stuff like holding the title to ransom and all this kind of crap. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, hopefully age.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, some of the stuff she's doing. I mean, I still follow her on the socials and stuff, because I'd like. You know what? One day, I still believe, and I know that Mark hates me for saying it, but I still believe you could really do an amazing redemption story with her if you wanted to. I think it could be awesome, and it would be interesting to see whether they could get the fan base to go from this to this for her again. Over a 6-month program or something, and just see whether they could redeem her. I don't know. That's what I think.
I no doubt they could.
It'd be just like Ultimate Warrior, only different.
Yes, it would.
I have no doubt they could, and I have no doubt if Tessa was given the chance, she could redeem herself, especially on Impact Wrestling, rather than going to another company and going from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, there's people that say she was arrogant and stuff, but then if you saw the behind the scenes stuff of when she won that world title and she came off and Scott D'Amore was hugging her and all that kind of stuff, that was all after the carton. She was genuinely like happy, and I think everyone behind the scenes were genuinely happy for her at that moment in time. I just don't know what went down to lead to that demise. Yeah. But
all right, we gave her enough time. Let's move.
The pandemic did weird things.
It did, definitely. I agree. But it's great to see Bill, everybody. Not only have we got J-Bone in the house, not only have we got Uncle Mark in the house, but now we've got the legend, the ringside legend, Ringside Bill too. I'll tell you what, Impacted draws the stars. They really do. They draw the stars.
You only turn 50 once.
Exactly. You do only turn 50 once. In fact, I'm hoping they're still only about 3 or 4 years away. So I'm not going to say whether it's 3 or 4. I'm saying it's 3 or 4 years away from me. But I'm almost there. Now, guys, listen, if you're sticking around, I think we need to talk about some Impacted recap of the week. What do you fancy? Do you fancy having a chat about some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah? Why not? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because we've got 6 man in the booth today, I'm not going to necessarily ask everybody their opinions on stuff because we'll be here for about 4 hours. So we'll also
all over again.
3 of us reviewed this show already.
Exactly. So that's true. That's true. We did. Yeah, we have reviewed this show already, and apparently, according to someone on Twitter, it was the best show.
Rob Barrio, shout out Rob.
It was the best show ever. Apparently, that review show was the best show ever, and it was me, Mark, and the Jay Bonester. Okay?
It was a lot of fun. It was
a hell of a lot of fun.
It was funny. It was definitely a funny show.
But
so
Jade Chung was on with us as well. Let's not
exactly. Forget. Yeah, Jade was in there as well. She was in the house doing
a
fantastic job.
3 guys, or was it Jade that made it the best show ever?
I don't know. Maybe
shots fired.
Probably Jade. Yeah, to be fair,
Jade helped a little.
Yeah,
no, she was an amazing. I'll say this. Sometimes you have guests where you're a little nervous about having them on, and you have to not necessarily pulling teeth to keep the conversation going. And she made it. Jade made it so easy. Yeah, it was. She was so just. I don't want to say giving. That sounds weird, but she just
like talking to a friend. It's very
she's a very easy person to talk to, isn't she? And I know that the UK guys as well. I mean, Joe and Steve. They, we've had her on our show, and it was great talking to her, wasn't it, lads?
Yeah, she was fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's get in with the impacted recap of the week. Otherwise, we're going to get lost in the sauce here. Now, remember, this show doesn't go to shit as often as the review show. This one, this one stays on.
What the fuck?
This one stays on track. All right. Anyway, so. Here we go. Let's talk about the biggest news that has come out this week, and that is the Sami Callahan injury at the Tapings. Bad news, boys. Bad news. However, I still believe that even though he might not be in the ring, he's still a fantastic guy when it comes to promos and getting him on the mic and creating buzz, etc., etc. So I don't think that he's going to be off TV. It's just a real shame that we're not going to get to see him in the ring. I believe it's like 6 to 8 months or something. So it's quite a while. However, he did go straight to hospital and apparently had his operation, which all went really, really well, which is fantastic news. What was your thoughts on what? I mean. You were at the Tapings, Bill. So I know you don't want to give out spoilers. I don't want to know what match it was in or anything like that. But do you remember the injury and did it look bad? No,
I do remember the injury. I have a feeling, and I don't know this, but the match it happened in, I don't think it's ever going to air.
Oh, really?
They decided to go a new direction after the injury and went a different angle. So I don't think I don't think you'll see that. My guess is some type of attack or something, maybe backstage could be it. But we have yet to see what's going to happen. Probably in the next week or two, we'll know. Because really, Impact hasn't even addressed it yet. I don't believe. No. But obviously, the dates that Sami was working, I was supposed to see him tomorrow night live. So he's obviously promotions are saying Sami's injured. Can't fulfill. Josh Alexander is taking his place on that show. But
why?
So he's definitely injured. Impact is not going to say anything until they air the storyline. And I do know, I have an idea of where they're going with it, although it wasn't real clear at the tapings because pretty much once he got hurt, they never mentioned his name again.
Oh, really?
Anything we saw. So it's going to be all backstage for the most part on, I think, how they enter it. But it was something where I can at least tell you that when he got hurt, he knew he was hurt.
Really?
I was close enough where I could hear him say, "Oh, I broke it." So he knew as soon as pretty much he landed what was going on. So I don't know from previous injuries or something. He had a sense of what was going on. But I'm with you that I'm hoping that he does stay in some type of role. He, unlike Eric Young, who has a stable, that's a very easy transition to be a mouthpiece. Sami's a loner for the most part, other than what we've been seeing with Eddie. So I'm not sure they're going to have to insert a storyline for him to get into, other than if he's just like a puppet master behind the scenes. But I hope he does, because losing him in ring is a big loss. Losing him off the show completely is a huge loss.
Definitely. What about you, Joe? I know you're a massive Sami fan, especially considering you've named your dog after the man. So
the Sami injury, it reminds you of when Rosemary got injured and she had to come off TV for a while, and it was like in between the whole undead storyline between Ali and that. When Rosemary was gone, it felt like it was just something was missing. For that while everyone was wondering is Rosemary going to come back, and the same thing with Sami Callahan. It's sad to hear that it has happened, and we covered it a bit last week. They say 6 to 8 months is the expected time, but he might even be back 5 months. If he really
could be. It depends how well he heals, I guess. But fingers crossed. I'll tell you what. Let's move on from that. This slightly better news. Obviously, we got the Call Your Shot Gauntlet announced for BFG, and already we know that we're going to have Myers, Swan, and Mac are all confirmed so far to be taking part in that. What were your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this one? And who do you think we might see turn up in this one, Steve?
To be honest, it's anyone's guess at the moment, isn't it, on who could turn up? I mean, there's a lot of names being thrown out there. You got, and I'll refer to them how we can remember, like the Braun Strowman, the Buddy Murphy. I mean, there's a couple of others too. But I don't, was Matt confirmed? I thought he said he was going after the X title.
Willie Mack said if he wins, he's going for the X Division title.
I think that's what he said. Okay. Yeah, if he wins the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, that's what he was going to do. Yeah, and then I think Swan then confirmed he was in as well. Yeah. What about you? What about you? What about you, Jay? What do you think on this one?
It's a tough one. Did they say like how many people are going to be in this at all, or no?
No. I think it's going to be a 20-man scramble, like it normally is.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Oh, that's okay. I didn't know if they were gonna do like 6, 10. Yeah, I had no clue. It's cool because it's one of those that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah. Steve, can I just say you're definitely cracking up. Your mic is definitely cracking up quite a lot. So just be aware of that, mate.
I thought it was Steve's one-liners. He was cracking us up.
Oh yeah, well that as well.
I'm always cracking up.
What are your thoughts? Do you think we might see some surprises in this, Mark?
Oh, for sure. I think we'll see new faces. But it's so far out. Yeah, I don't really know who to predict we might see. And to me, Buddy, what is his name now? Not Buddy Murphy anymore.
Buddy Matthews. Yeah.
Buddy Matthews seems like the most obvious one to me. I'm guessing that we'll, if the relationship is good with Alex Zane, who's making his debut this week, is it right?
Yeah.
I think we'll probably see him declare for the gauntlet. Yeah, I think they're going to try and get a mix. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, to see somebody from New Japan in that gauntlet come out as a surprise as well. Like somebody not already around, but somebody we haven't seen before.
Yeah, somebody fresh.
Okada.
It's
not going to be. No, I'm thinking more like Yujiro.
Well, I think we might say.
Ishimori. Yeah, but the trouble is, I think we discussed that before. I'm sure Ishimori is in Japan. So unless
I just saw Ishimori live in New York City on Friday.
Oh, really? Oh, so I thought he was in Japan. So maybe Well, as the Bone Soldier.
As the Bone Soldier.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yeah, he had a very good match with Tony Deppen at GCW on Friday.
Oh my God.
He's already back. So
could you imagine the Bone Soldier turning up? I mean, that would be amazing. I think, to be fair though, I think it's more likely a member of the Bullet Club would be turning up with Chris Bay and Hikuleo and El Phantasmo. I would say he's obviously now introduced him in now. I'm sure there's a potential that we might see something more involved with that storyline.
Jay White's definitely coming back. I'm pretty sure Jay White's going to be coming back.
Well, he's the leader. He's got to be there, isn't he? He's got be there. If we're starting to get like 3 or 4, 5 members of the club, you've got to get Jay. You've got to get Jay.
Well,
okay,
I can think of one more name that I think absolutely would be tremendous showing up, and I know the UK contingent of our panel here would appreciate it the most. Probably is Will Osprey.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
He's in the States. That is confirmed.
He's all over the place now in the States.
Yeah. No, I've seen that, and I think there's been a lot of rumor going around on the socials that is Will Osprey going to turn up on Impact? I think that would be pretty awesome if he did. Yeah, fantastic talent. I've seen him live in the UK a couple of times. Yeah, great talent. Would be amazing to see him turn up.
He has returned because he was one, and I believe the other one, Big Damo, is available too right now, right? So
yeah.
The third guy that was in that match is also available, but you don't want to touch him.
Okay, you throw me now. Who's that?
Yeah, I don't. Who?
Back when they did that in the UK and they had the 3 guys in a match, like to get a chance, it was Jimmy Havoc was the third one.
Oh, Jimmy Havoc. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's not even in wrestling anymore.
Yeah,
Christ,
he's working at like a supply store or something.
Yeah,
UK,
he's in that Me Too stuff that went on, wasn't he?
Yes.
But Mir, I don't agree with you, my friend. I definitely don't. Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly. But I think it would be a good way. It'd be a big surprise to introduce him in. But you never know. You never know. Now, moving on from that, we also got the return this past week on this last Thursday's Impact of Raj Singh to help Rohit Raju. Obviously, it's a Desi Hit Squad reunion. I'm really pleased to see Raj return. I think he's an awesome talent, and we prior to this run now, I don't think we've seen the best of him. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go. He looks like he's in awesome shape, so that's going to be good. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
I was really surprised to see him come back. It was one of the biggest shocks of the whole night for me. I wasn't expecting him to come back. I thought Shira disappearing was quite shifty. So I thought he'd probably just come back later on in the night and attack Matt Cardona. But when it was Raj Singh, I'm thinking that they're going to start pushing these two now for the tag team titles. I think they might be heading towards Bound for Glory for the tag team titles, or involved in the match some way. But it's great to see Raj Singh back, because the Desi Hit Squad were really good up against the Dinas. They really helped push each other and bounce off each other brilliantly. So we know that they're a great team. It's just they never really got a chance to shine through. But now, of course, the Dinas are sadly no more. We got Jake something, and Dean has found his true self somewhere else. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what can happen next. And it's great to see that this is all intertwined with Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green now as well, to really bring Matt Cardona out into a more violent state too.
Definitely. We definitely want to see that, don't we? What about you, Jay? What were your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Sami? I know that Trent was always really high on Raj. What about yourself?
Oh, he looks amazing. And it feels like a whole fresh new chapter. And this is nothing against Shira. Shira had a great comeback. Unfortunately, he's injured now. To put Raj in there, he looks like he's in great shape. And I feel like, because before, when Raj was with the Desi Hit Squad, it was more of a comedy act. They were doing stuff with the Deaners and all that stuff, which is great, because you got to have a little ha-ha in your wrestling to, it can't be all bloodbaths and cage matches. It's great. It's lovely. I love all that stuff, but it's, you got to have your highs and your lows, and it just kind of breaks up the monotony of the whole episode. But now with Raj coming back, it's got a different vibe to it. He looks like $1 million. He's trimmed up. I mean, he doesn't even look like the old Raj. I mean, I'm not saying he was horribly out of shape, but he just looks like he's in much better shape.
Oh, man, he's ripped. He's ripped.
He's good. It's going to be a whole new threat for the Desi Hit Squad to be. And I got a feeling it's not just going to be, oh, here's Rohit and another guy. It feels like it's got the potential to be a solid tag team to be taken seriously again. So that's what I'm hoping, and I'm really looking forward to that.
I agree. I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be insane. What about you? Have you sorted your mic out? Have you sorted your mic out, Steve?
Hopefully.
I need to know. Go on then. Give us your opinion.
Well, I actually wrote a piece about this a few weeks ago, saying that I feel that we will be getting a new Daisy Hit Squad with Rohit as the leader, and it really feels like we're heading in that direction. I mean, we've got Shearer and now we've got Raj returning, and Rohit definitely looks like he's kind of manipulating a system where he's sort of bringing these former sort of teammates back together again, and I think we will get a fourth turn up. And so yeah, I'd be on the lookout for someone else to show up, and that isn't Garm.
No, I'm trying to think of this. That guy Rohit teams with on AEW might be a good one to cut. Might be one that Impact should be looking at.
Is that Karim?
Yeah.
I'm thinking more of someone that Impact already have on their books, which is I think he's training currently in BCW, Bhupinder Singh.
Yeah. Bhupinder. Is he actually on the books? Is he? I know he was before. I knew he was before. He's not on the roster page.
No, he's not.
But I know he was in for a while. Yeah, he was in for a while. But yeah, there's Bhupinder Singh. That would be interesting. Definitely. So we've got some, there's lots of options. There's lots and lots of options out there. So it could be interesting to see how this goes. I noticed that Arman mentioned the Bollywood boys in there. For me, kind of like the Desi Hit Squad is almost like the Impact version of the Bollywood boys to a degree. I would say that the Desi Hit Squad, if Rohit and Raj can really start firing on all cylinders, those boys could definitely be up there, as a tag team. And we wouldn't need the Bollywood boys, but there you go. Okay, so the next thing I've got on my list here is that we've got a returning El Phantasmo, obviously for the Bullet Club, to help Bray and Hikuleo at the last tapings. Now, I know that Mark is a massive fan of El Phantasmo. So what are your thoughts on the return of El Phantasmo, Mark?
I was really happy to see LP back. Yeah, he made a fan of me real quick. I'd seen him in a couple matches in New Japan before, but like my real exposure to him is in Impact, just that short, brief run. And he left on a really high note with Josh Alexander, who's getting ready or has vacated the X Division title. If ELP's here for a while, I wouldn't be sad to see him in the X Division with a serious push. I think he's fucking fantastic. He has charisma, character, big stage presence. His work is great in the ring. Good work rate. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. Very happy.
Yeah, he's very cool. Now, of course, Bill, you will have seen this guy at the recent set of tapings, and of course, previously. What are your thoughts on El Phantasmo?
Out of all the new blood that we've had, he honestly might be my favorite. I love his character. That he's like the heeliest heel is just fantastic. Like he doesn't break at all. For those that like love totally different style, but those that love like an MJF style character that's heel 24/7, El Phantasmo is heel 24/7. But he gives you the tease of maybe I'm cool, and everyone falls for it every time. Like he's gonna go up for the 2-sweet. No, he's not gonna 2-sweet you. Like he gives Penzer a hard time at ringside. He is a throwback if there ever was one to a heel, just like the Bret Hart of WCW we saw last night. He's that type of heel. He's going. You look up heel in the book. He's playing it. He's dictionary heel. El Phantasmo, and I love it.
Yeah,
I hope he has a long run here. I would, if he could be a long time loan to Impact, I would take that in a heartbeat, and I'd strap him up.
It'd be too sweet.
Fair enough. What about you, Joe? I know you like El Phantasmo as well.
It was great to see him back. I was waiting for him to come back. I was expecting it to be more closer to Bound for Glory than it was this night. It just makes sense continuing on the build that Finjuice versus the Bullet Club, and the fact that the way David Finlay got the victory over Hikuleo, I thought that was for me was saying, right, someone's got to come out and this isn't just going to be a 2-on-2 assault. Someone's definitely going to come up. And when El Phantasmo would come out, I was really, really pleased to see him back. Like Mark said, his work with Josh Alexander was just awesome. An absolutely faultless wrestler. So to see him come back and to see him around as we got to Bound for Glory, we're going to have a huge match between Finjuice and the Bullet Club. And the Finjuice are obviously going to probably get 2 or 3 guys on their side too. So we might even get a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4 come Bound for Glory. And that's really awesome.
I think that's the beauty of all this sort of Forbidden Door stuff. You really don't know where it's all going to end. You don't know what the end game is all the time. And I think it adds to that kind of, unexpected. I mean, especially if you don't go following spoilers, which I don't. I try and avoid all of that. I like to see it happen. Which is great.
What they feel, you can feel their energy. Like everybody seems excited to be wherever's new to them.
Totally.
Hey, Impact Wrestling. It's great to be here tonight.
See?
You just don't know. I mean, when's Tony Khan going to pop up? You just don't know.
Maybe he'll be in the next division.
Who knows? I mean, he's got the arms for it.
So, I wish I'd thought of that.
I know he won't be at Bound for Glory.
Oh, yeah. No,
he won't be at Bound for Glory. That's
I guess
true.
he'll be on a boat. or more likely he'll be in Orlando at the Dynamite
Impact Zone.
ROH is running that night too. Impact,
busy
ROH,
night.
Cruise, and AEW are all running that night.
That's amazing, isn't it? Everybody running on the same night. Insane.
I have a feeling at the end of this, some people may look back and say, well, maybe Impact was smart to move to a later time slot. Yeah. There's a lot on that night. So.
Maybe they were the smartest promotion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I still want the Phil Collins moment. Do the Phil Collins.
So moving quickly here. Okay, so we also had the return of VSK teaming with Brian Myers and of course his faction, the Learning Tree. I'm really pleased to see this guy back actually, because I was quite a big fan of his debut. I thought he looked fantastic previously. I'm hoping that this is a sign that he is now signed. But of course, until he turns up on the roster page, you're never going to know, I guess, because we don't do this whole, VSK is all Impact. What we do is people just sort of kind of come along and, before you know it, they are signed and they become mainstay and all the rest of it. We don't make a big deal about it. These people just turn up and they do their thing and we go, wow, these guys are amazing. And that's the end of that. What were your thoughts, Steve, on a returning VSK with Myers? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I couldn't echo you anymore. Like the first time he showed up, I think it was against Macklin, and obviously they were using him to test Macklin, and I was instantly like, well,
it was against ELP.
Oh, it was ELP, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we knew
that. Awesome debut for both guys.
Yeah, and I was like, well, keep both of them around, and to see him back again, it was like, well, hopefully this time he does stay around because he's got so much to offer, and we saw more character out of him this time too. So yeah, I'm really hoping that he sticks around. And one thing I was very interested as well was that they mentioned that Myers actually taught him. So obviously Myers, we talk about how the Good Brothers have influence on people that they bring in, but obviously Myers has a bit of a not a say, but he has that school and people he can teach and maybe nurture into the company too.
Totally agree with that. What about you, Jay? Because I think if I remember rightly, you were quite high on VSK as well when he debuted.
Yeah, I know he's had some stuff, featuring some companies featuring him here and there over the last year or so, a little more on TV, a few appearances. And I feel like with the boost of Brian Myers' Create a Pro, having that kind of connection with the company, it's a great place to launch new faces. And Brian Myers has been around enough with him running Creative Pro, and he'd be a perfect example of a person to be like, hey, I've been working with this kid at Creative Pro. He's been around X amount of time, X amount of years. I think now would be a great time to bring him in, feature him for a bit, or just add him as a new face in the company. A great place for him to work with people and shine. You put him under the guidance of a guy like Brian Myers, and he's just going to shine. So it's just, we'll have to see if he's actually going to be a roster member, if he's going to sign or not, what kind of deal or anything. And we're not privy to all that stuff. No. That doesn't matter. It's as long as it's new people, good content. I'm all down with it. I
totally agree with you on that one, 100%. I think it's good. I think if he stays around, that'd be great. I know that he has made a few appearances on AEW, which is interesting. Looks like Scott Demore's back. Is that the coach I see? The coach has turned up for the 50th anniversary show. Is the coach got anything to say, Bill? Is the coach got anything to say?
I make the deals that need to be made. If he has the contract, I'll get him a contract. You'll see. Yeah. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Scott. Cheers, Scott. Thanks for making an appearance.
Crap.
I really appreciate that, Scott. Thank you for coming on. And like I say, it is our 50th anniversary show. So thank you very much for that. See, I told you, all the stars come out. Yeah, when Impacted goes live, all the stars come out.
Good job, Scott. Good job.
That's a good bite there, Steve.
We see. I told you we got some fresh ones, baby. We got some fresh ones. So it's all good. So it's great to see VSK back. We know that he's been turning up on AEW as well, which is great to see. So it means he does get exposure as well to more and more people. So that's good news. Now, I thought I would save the best to last. I know that a few people in the chat have been saying that, and you're right, I did. So the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels, makes a welcome return to assist Josh Alexander and Christian Cage, or to save them against Ace.
Is that the guy from TNN?
That's the one. That's the one. That is the one, the fallen angel. So let me know. I'll tell you what, you were there. You were there when he made his debut, Bill. What are your thoughts on this, and what was the reaction from the audience?
I think it was when he made his return, I was very excited for it because I think Daniels, out of some of the returns, he's a TNA guy. Like Christian Cage was a champion, but he came from up north. It was a short run, but I thought he had a great run. But Daniels, he did ROH, but he was a TNA guy. He's a labeled early. He's an OG of the TNA brand.
Totally.
Kaz is as well, but I always put Daniels in that little bit higher regard. So Daniels, seeing him back, I was very excited by that. I'm like, there we go, because we hadn't seen him in forever. Since the end of Bad Influence when they went to Ring of Honor. But it was great to see him return. And I'm interested to see what goes on with Daniels going forward. But that is the thing I do like about this AEW relationship is these guys that they have with the ties, they're at least coming back and getting maybe not long storylines, but I'll call it closure with the company for at least a time being. So this was great to see for Daniels because he didn't leave under bad circumstances. He left for a better deal, but he just vanished for a guy that was so important to the company.
I agree. What about you, Joe? I know you're a big Fallen Angel fan yourself, aren't you?
I was so surprised to see Christopher Daniels back. The most I saw of him originally was when he started with SCU at AEW, and I was so impressed with the work he did there, especially with Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. All three of them are awesome wrestlers. So But I always thought Christopher Daniels didn't get as much exposure as he should have done. And I watched a couple of the earlier Asylum episodes of TNA, and Christopher Daniels then was like he stood out there. So to see him back, like Will said, to see a true OG like Christopher Daniels, like James Storm, come back into the company, the fans' reaction was awesome, and I just wish I was there to feel it, because I would have been screaming up the top of my lungs. And I hardly seen much of him, but I was just that excitement knowing that someone who's had such a long history with the company has actually decided to come back in and make an appearance. And it's just great to see.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What about yourself, Steve? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, like Bill said, you know, Daniels, although he didn't leave on bad terms, he kind of left, like, you know, with a bit of a whimper out of his hands, sadly. So it's great to kind of hopefully get him to come back and leave on terms that are, you know, leave with a bang, kind of end. If this is the kind of end that he can go out by, and the reaction was fantastic, and he got a medal now. He's got experience behind the scenes.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You know, maybe leading into Bound for Glory, he can sort of maybe put some knowledge, or not knowledge, but kind of add some information, or kind of put hand into leading into Bound for Glory in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly going to bring eyes back. If people see that you know, Christopher Daniels is back. I mean, Christ, you know, things are definitely looking good. We've had Kaz, now we got Chris Daniels. You know, they're starting to make it appear. We even have Matt Hardy. You know, in the beginning, if you actually look at all of the guys that have that have actually returned to the company, even if it's just for a short time or just one set of tapings or whatever, if you actually add it all up, there's a lot. There's a lot of guys that have been coming back and making appearances over the period.
We've had they're all previous Impact wrestlers, aren't they?
Which is amazing. Now I'll tell you what, I'm gonna move away a little bit now from this past week's Impact. I'm gonna talk about the upcoming Knockouts Knockdown set for Saturday, the 9th of October. Impact Plus, and of course YouTube Ultimate Insider. So make sure that if you're not on Impact Plus, you get signed up now, or if you prefer YouTube Ultimate Insiders, get yourself signed up ASAP, because you don't want to miss this one. I think this is going to be an amazing night. Knockouts Knockdown is going to be incredible. Now, what's been announced is that we're going to have the Knockouts Knockdown tournament to determine the number one contender for the Knockouts title. Now, already we've got announced for this match to be competing. We've got Mercedes Martinez, we've got Lady Frost, and just before the show aired, Renee Michelle has been announced to be taking part. So I don't know. I mean, there's some interesting ladies there, and I think we're going to get one more. We're going to get one more non-roster member added to this. I think. To take it forward for this tournament. What are your thoughts on this? And I'm going to go with Mark, because I know Mark is a huge Knockouts fan. So, Mark, what are your thoughts on this number one contenders tournament?
I think that this past year, the women's division has been in a rough spot with the addition of the Knockouts tag titles. It spread the division really thin. In that interim, Deonna has kind of run through the locker room twice. She's taken on challengers from other promotions. This is a great way to logically slot somebody in without having to build storyline in between now and BFG, so that they can run two storylines, because I feel like Taylor Wilde is constantly waiting in the wings for this shot we know she's going to get. So they need to build another challenger. Trent mentions this sometimes, that Impact historically is good about having multiple people ready for a title shot in case something happens. They're very agile. That is not the case on the women's side right now. So this might be the beginning of the expansion of the division. I think that we've all been kind of waiting for this year since the tag belts were introduced, going, man, we're thin on stories. We're seeing the same matches. Can we get a few more ladies? I think this is going to be that. I hope.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, well, we have been slowly since anniversary been seeing the Knockouts division like build up slightly. I mean, it's been very slow that you haven't noticed it, but it has been growing, and I do expect it to continue to grow. But as Mark mentioned, the fact that we do have the Knockouts titles means that we are needing more knockouts, and like we mentioned previously, Deonna hasn't really had much to do in Impact with her title, so you expect this to kind of be someone who just sort of ticks her over to back and forth. But it will be this could be a great platform as well for Impact to scout some talent, and some of the talent we have seen on Impact before, so that can be taken into account too.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Jay? What do you think?
I think the whole show is going to be just a great moment for the women, and it could even blow away a show by itself, say for like the whole NWA contingent.
Yeah,
and not in a negative way. I just think it's going to be better. Like I got some really good vibes about it.
I mean, the production's going to be better for a start. I mean, you already just with the posters that they're banging out, just the visuals that they're banging out is better than the NWA stuff. So,
I thought of that.
Other than the fact that they're not going to have, they're not going to have it's not going to be as big a crowd. I still think they'll be pretty raucous, and like visually, it's going to look a little bit more impressive, I think. Can I just say a quick hello to Courtney? It's all good, my sweetheart. It's glad we're good to see you. Richard Williams is in the house as well. Can I just say, Critical Sting, Hakeem.
Which one's Jay?
Yeah, which one's Jay? So we've got quite a few people in the house today. So it's great to see you guys.
And it's never too late to give a tickle.
Never too late. Never ever too late. You could tickle, you can squeeze, or you can smash.
Are you doing the honking that J-Lo was doing last night?
Oh, it's up to you. Squeeze, tickle, smash.
No.
Oh, it's a squeeze. Okay.
That's an after dark. But let's
oh
continue.
Christ, yeah. You're right. Sorry about that.
It's the UK. It is after dark.
It is, exactly. In fact, if I turn my light off now, I'd be in the dark. It really is after dark here. But anyway, I digress. So it is great. Do you know what? I've got to say this now, right? I've been talking to the Sinister Minister all week. I was trying to get him on today, but he was not available. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm gutted. I nearly got a special guest, and it was going to be the Sinister Minister, but never mind. That would have been awesome. Maybe we can. Maybe I can sort something out for another show. He just wasn't available this week. It's a real shame.
He's been a busy guy lately.
Oh my God, he's all over the place, isn't he?
Yes.
He's absolutely all over the place. I'm definitely going to keep on it. I'm definitely going to keep trying to get him on the show because it'd be amazing. Can you imagine the stories this guy can tell? When he goes right back to WCW, we can have some interesting shit going on with this guy. I'll tell you that now.
Oh,
yeah, definitely. So keep your eyes peeled, guys, because you never know who turns up on Impacted. I'll tell you, this show. The stars, I've told you before, the stars come out for Impact. Scott D'Amore's been on. We've had El Marco has been on. The Luchador El Marco has been on, which is fantastic. Oh my God, who's this? Who the hell's that? Who's this coming on the show?
Brown? You down with the
Brown? D'Lo's in the house. Everyone, Honestly, it's the stars coming out. Impacted 50th anniversary show. I'll tell you what, absolutely superb. Great to see you, D'Lo. You're a legend. You're an absolute legend, baby. Let's get the head nod. Everyone's got to do the head. Anyway.
Do the hat away.
That's definitely a visual thing. That's definitely a visual thing. For the audio only fans, we're just nodding our heads side to side.
They laughed. And they laughed, and they laughed, and they laughed.
There he is, future world champion.
We love that guy. We love that. Talking about that guy. This big news. The Bison did an interview with William, and it's out this Friday, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. in the UK.
And you live to tell about it.
Yeah, exactly. I did. He's actually a really nice bloke. I was gobsmacked, but not gobsmacked that he was a nice bloke, but just I thought he would come more with his persona in the interview, but he didn't. He was actually a really cool guest, a real nice guy. So make sure you tune in on that one. Bison Talks Impact this Friday, 6 p.m. In the UK, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. It's a great interview. Moving quickly away from that.
At upcoming tapings. I don't know if it will come across on TV like it did with the live crowd, but just remember what I'm about to say when you watch W. Morrissey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that already. Okay, so moving on with the show, because we're starting to turn into the review show here. So moving on with this show, huge rumors now that Adam Scherr, I think it is, Buddy Matthews, Bronson Reed are set to debut for Impact. Plus, maybe Tony Nese also could potentially. I think we could be looking at a call your shot gauntlet at BFG for someone like Tony Nese. I think that would be a great way to debut him. I don't know, but there's definitely a lot of rumors starting to really gain some momentum now. What are your thoughts on this? And I'm going to go with Bill on this one. What are your thoughts on these rumors, Bill?
I think we will, at Bound for Glory, get a surprise or two. I know Slammiversary's been that major show for that the last couple of years, but just with how the industry is and the free agents that are out there, I think there will be a surprise or two. I think you're right. I think Buddy seems the most likely candidate. Although I don't want to put anything in dirt sheets, but I know they made, for some reason, there had to be a story that AEW doesn't want him to come out.
Yeah.
Which almost seems like that's someone throwing shade on him signing somewhere else.
I agree.
So I feel like that just gave that away pretty much by that story coming out.
It's funny because when that came out on the socials, I actually straight away I was like, okay, so someone's pissed off he hasn't signed with AEW.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Although I really don't see a place where I see there's more of a spot at Impact for him anyway. But just for that to come out, it feels like somebody knows where he's going and they want it to, because that's usually what happens when an Impact signing's about to happen. People want to get in front of it and say it's not as big as it's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the whole Scott, he teased that at that game with the Iceman, along with Braun for Glory. I do think Sundays, the Frida narrative with him and EC3. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some clues in that. But I think he's obviously the big ticket, other than if you want to say the former Bray Wyatt on availability or not. That's 1A in the, I would say, the big.
Well, Bray's an interesting one because it seems to have gone quite quiet with regards to Bray, especially considering that everybody was going on about how he was going to be on AEW tonight. They're saying, wasn't they?
That's what the rumor is. It's about tonight because it's in Rochester, which is the
Brody.
Brody Lee's hometown. Tonight's Dynamite is actually dedicated to Brody. Yeah. So is there a chance that he'll show up? Absolutely. If he does, I know a lot of it's on the hush hush. So the dirt sheets, honestly, right now don't have anything on it, which is refreshing. Similar.
They've spoiled everything for the most part so far.
And that was done by design. Wink, wink.
By design.
But the one thing that they did keep quiet, which it was refreshing to see, was the whole Adam Cole thing. No one had a clue. They literally had him hidden all day. In fact, in a recent interview I saw, he flew into Milwaukee and drove from Milwaukee, minutes from here, down to Chi-Town for that show. So who knows what's going to happen tonight? And even if he does, it's not a given that he's signed. I think there's still a good chance, a good fit for him at Impact as far as the cult of Wyndham. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree.
All in all, we're going to get some new faces in Impact Wrestling. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, no matter what brand you watch, because there's new stuff happening all over the place. Even WWE is having to shake things up and flip the company on its head in order to try to catch some new eyes. So, like I said, it's all good for wrestling right now.
If anything, it's a sad fact that we talked about earlier, but the injury to Sami, obviously, there's a main event slot available right now in Impact Wrestling.
Of course there is. What about you, Joe? What do you think on this one?
I think we're going to see Braun Strowman come in at Bound for Glory. I really do. I think it's the if he's going to be working with EC3, EC3 is going to be one of the first guys to tell him out. If you want to really do something with your career, go to Impact Wrestling. And Strowman even said after in an interview that he had his eyes on Impact Wrestling, but after he left WWE, and all the dirt sheets are constantly out to try and play it down and everything. It's quite clear that he's got no interest in AEW, and he's already got himself into a huge, much better shape than he was. That WWE's not going to want him back because he's just too good looking now physically. So if he looks better than Roman Reigns physically, then that's it, and you can't go back into the company there.
Fair enough. So I think it's all looking good that we're certainly going to see a couple of big names turn up at BFG, if not before. I think we certainly might find out because as we know that this, recently or in the last sort of week or so, the tickets for BFG have just been released. As far as I'm aware, all the VIP stuff is gone. They're now working on selling everything else.
Yeah, mainly GA. I think it's all GA. Definitely for the pay-per-view.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so there's not a massive amount left. I know that the dirt sheets were making a big thing that it's not sold out and all that kind of crap now. Whatever. Especially as it's a small, say it's a smaller venue, but what you have to understand is that I believe you can get 1,500 in that venue.
I think that's overestimating it in my experience at Sam's Town. Okay. I would be safe to say 800-900. Maybe they can push it to near 1,000. I think if you had a different setup for production and all, you take a lot of seats away for the cameras. So I would say that's it. And honestly, that's what they were playing pre-pandemic, is up to 1,000-seat venues, like in Atlanta, Dallas. Like that's kind of where they were going, their sweet spot. Except for Chicago, Bound for Glory. They went to about 2,500, 3,000 venue. And they had that pretty full. But I believe the last Bound for Glory sold out ahead of time, way ahead of time, was New York that you went to.
Yes. Yep. So there's certainly a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff going on at the moment. And I think that the potential of maybe releasing some information that we might see a big name turn up would certainly make sure that we sold out everything else, including the tapings afterwards.
Yeah, well, watch the vignettes every week because I feel there will be a vignette for something.
Okay,
going into Bound for Glory, but I hope so. Nobody's seen them. Not even people over there.
I really, really hope so. Welcome back, Jay. Nice to see you. You look really handsome. Anyway, moving on from that and talking about Bound for Glory, it's also been announced this week that Rhino and Heath will be meeting with media at Sam Stone's Unicon on the 1st and 2nd of October ahead of BFG on the 24th. Interesting here is that it's Heath will be a part of this. So I think that effectively tells you that we think Heath is obviously coming back pretty soon, which is going to be great. We all know.
I used to have a last name, but now a billionaire keeps it in a safe.
There you go. So it's really good. It's really good to see that Heath will be hopefully heading home. And again, he's going to be hanging out with Rhino. So I think that's possibly the end of Rhino for Violent by Design. And maybe we could be seeing the Heath and Rhino tag team moving forward, possibly. We'll have to wait and see on that one. What were your thoughts on that, Steve? What are your thoughts?
It's like you say, it's great to see these two, what we think will be Heath and Rhino back together. It's been, in a way, a year in the making. It's been Bound for Glory last year since we really saw Heath in the ring. My slight worry is I just hope these two teaming and what they have against Violent by Design doesn't lead to the end. One get rid of Violent by Design and getting rid of Violent by Design.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Oh no, I don't see Violent by Design getting knocked off completely. I think it's more like Heath's going to come back and save Rhino and just carry him away. I don't think this is going to be. It's going to take a monster to break down Violent by Design. You got Joe Doring in there for on his own. It's going to need. You're going to need someone like Braun Strowman to come in and knock him out, or Moose and W Morrissey have to work together and take him out.
Yeah, I agree.
But it would be awesome to see if Braun Strowman actually comes into Violent by Design as like an extra replacement. But then that would also leave Dina and then as a fifth wheel.
Yeah. But, it's interesting that you talk about Joe. But I've heard a rumor that Joe might be coming in to wish us a happy 50th, but I'm not sure on that one. We'll have to wait and see. I think he might be in the green room. So
I think he might be in the green room. I might have to check on him, make sure he has his coffee at a certain temperature.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Just go and
brown M&Ms.
All right, bud. You go and check and see if he's in there, and then hopefully Joe will be making an appearance. So sorry about that. But I just wanted to make sure that Joe was all right, because obviously you mentioned him, and I know he's waiting in the back. So no, that's good, Joe. I totally agree with what you're saying there. I think if someone's going to take out Joe Doran, it's got to be someone like a Braun Strowman, because the dude is at the end of the day, the dude is massive. What about you, Mark? What are your thoughts on? I know you're quite big on Heath, aren't you?
I think that
it ain't no secret. I need a job.
Yeah, we got to get Heath back in here, man. He's been gone for a long time. In terms of Braun, like you mentioned Braun versus Doring, I'm not a big Braun fan. Like, I think he's passable. I think he's a fine enough performer in the ring. He's a fine enough big guy. I would love to see him versus Doring, because that wherever Braun does go, he's going to have some shit to prove. And if you've got some shit to prove and you're that big, you need another dude that big to prove it against. Come to Impact, baby. Willie Morrissey and fucking, Moose. And we got fucking Doring and all these big motherfuckers that are ready to bang. So, yeah.
Yeah, Gallows. I mean, Gallows is ginormous.
You don't realize how big the roster is until you look, do you?
No, exactly. There's some absolutely ginormous guys on our roster, without doubt. I think it's interesting you bring up the size, Mark, because it wasn't too long ago when people were saying, Impact's just full of little guys, small guys. But
it wasn't the time, though, comparatively.
Yes, I agree.
Much smaller than it. Like, we have a lot of hosses. Impact could do a hoss division in fine right now.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, totally agree. What about you, Jay? What do you think?
Oh, I'd love to see him in there. I do think he's absolutely a big enough name. He's come a long way. I've seen him do some great stuff up north. I know there's some people that don't agree with his talent. Well, of course, guys that big aren't going to move around like TJP, stuff like that. The big guys are doing, big guy stuff, and that's fine. That's fine. They don't need to be, jumping through hoops like, to say a guy like Cage used to do, Brian Cage, that is. So yeah, he is absolutely a guy that'll turn some heads in this brand. May move the needle a little for Impact, because I feel like he does bring a strong fan base with him. A unique.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Totally agree with that. I think the interesting thing is that what people forget is that it's the same with the Matt Cardona stuff as well. Like, don't bring in Matt Cardona, he sucks, blah blah blah. But the bottom line is he has proved that actually he's a bit of a badass. And not only is he a bit of a badass, he's got one hell of a following, right? So why would you not bring in someone like that who has got an incredible following and actually is an incredibly talented wrestler, just not being used in the way that you would say is a classic, really good wrestler, because of the way he's been portrayed in another company. Just because you've been portrayed in a certain way on another company doesn't mean that you're going to be portrayed in that way in the new company. And I think that is the important thing that people need to take away from it. I hear people say, "Oh, Braun Strowman's boring. He's generic WWE bad guy." I'm taking that from Armin there, right? Yeah, I agree. If you look at it from a WWE storytelling, a WWE kind of the way that they put guys over, yeah, he probably is. But give the guy a chance. Let's see what he can do when he's not in a WWE promotion and he's got the backing of an Impact or an AEW or wherever he ends up going, where they would push him and use him in a different way. Let's see where we go. He may even have some amazing ideas in his own head there he wants to take himself. We don't know that. Same with any wrestler. We don't know that because the E don't allow wrestlers to really do that. Okay, so again, that's another reason why people like Sami have thrived when they come to Impact Wrestling. Yeah. That's why Rosemary thrives in Impact Wrestling, but does not want to go anywhere else. And because she knows that her creativity, her character would not necessarily be maxed out in another promotion, right? So that's what people forget, I think, sometimes. Let's just see what these guys can do, because I think that they could do big things. I think Braun could do big things if he was in the right environment, in the right promotion, with the right creative behind him. That's what I think. But
there's no doubt he has the look, Bison.
Oh, God, yeah. The dude is jacked and he's massive. I'm not going to lie.
Did you say massive?
Look at that, guys. Hey, look at this. Big Joe. Big Joe is joining us for the 50th anniversary. I told you the stars come out for Impacted.
I hear there's beefalo on the menu.
He gonna eat you alive.
He's gonna eat me alive. All right, Nips. Calm down, Nips.
Yeah, this is horrible.
They might have to do a nipple twist.
Man talks about my nips.
Hey, steady on. I'm going to do some nipple twisting, mate. I'm going to nipple twist you away. You ain't got a chance.
You got hair on your booty cheeks?
It's been a bangorama.
Oh, dear. How cool is that, guys? How cool is that? Hey, I'll tell you, they're all coming out tonight. They're all coming out. Coach D'Amour's been on. Now Joe. I mean, it's just an amazing night. We even had D'Lo Brown, guys. D'Lo came in and made an appearance. Yeah. It's just amazing. Joe's here for the 50th. Right,
Joe. Bring me Braun.
Bring me Braun. I like it. Well, Joe, thanks for joining us.
Get back to your show.
Okay, buddy. Thank you ever so much.
I really dislike you.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So good to see.
Disappeared just like that. Amazing.
Just incredible.
He does what he pleases.
I told you, Joe was in the green room. He's been waiting very, very patiently to come in and obviously show the TNI-UK boys his support. So I'm really glad he turned up. It was fantastic. Right, guys, let's move on. Let's swiftly move on. We've already hit 1 hour and 19. Am I going to be able to get all of this in the next 20 minutes? Let's see. So tomorrow night on Impact, BTI match, Raj Singh. We've already talked about him tonight. Raj Singh versus Matt Cardona. And again, we've talked about Matt literally just a couple of minutes ago. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe? And I know you're a Matt Cardona fan, so what are your thoughts on this one?
It's a great way to reintroduce everyone to Raj Singh. It is the briefest way to sum it up. It's great to see Raj Singh back, and this is the best way to really reintroduce him to the fans.
I agree. I think it's going to be a good match. What about you, Mark? You're on mute, bud. You're on mute.
My bad. Sorry. Running sound bites, man. I was happy to see Raj back. Yeah, no, I totally like not by any fault of his own. I'd forgotten Raj was on the roster still. So it was like a very big surprise. I love the Cardona Rohit feud. More particularly, I like the Chelsea Green Rohit Raju feud. I'm really high on that right now. Not high like weed high, but like it's good. Yeah. I like it. So bring in Raj, let him work with Cardona. I like this whole storyline. I'm all for this. I hope they give him 15 minutes. It's a BTI match, so it's possible they get 10 minutes, 15 of TV time. It's a great reintroduction. Good stuff.
I agree. What about you? Who shall I go with? Hang on, Steve. What about you, Steve? Fingers crossed with that mic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I say, it all seems I agree with the with Mark and Joe. Like we've got Raj and Cardona, and with Raj coming back, I feel like you've got to give him the win and give them momentum.
Definitely.
I've enjoyed the Rohit and Cardona feud, and I agree with Mark that Rohit and Chelsea have had more between them. But this extra dimension, I feel that's now going to propel it forward. And I feel if you cut it off before it starts, then you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay. What about yourself, Jay? What do you think on this one?
Oh, it's a great way to reintroduce him. And Matt is always ready. He's always ready, and I'm always gonna be excited to see whatever he does. I'm digging the feud, and it's a great match to put at the end. I'm hoping it draws. Obviously, they're trying to draw some eyes to BTI, and we put it over all the time as part of our live reaction now on Thursdays. Because it is a lot of fun. They reflect on the show before. I feel like they could still tweak some stuff, but it is a fun hour. It really is. And then the match it's something fresh. It's original. It's good stuff.
I agree. And totally agree with that.
One nice bonus here is that when Cher comes back, we can do this a lot. We can use this.
Isn't Odark because he's also owes my money?
I mean, we got to get that one in every show. So this seems,
totally,
maybe a return of Grado too as well.
Oh,
you know what? I've been since the pandemic. I don't think Grado's actually been wrestling. I've been looking around a lot of the promotions, and I haven't seen Grado advertised at all. So if any of the UK guys that are in the chat now, if you know of anything that's going on with Grado, let us know, because I haven't seen anything at all. On any of the indie promotions here in the UK. I know that he's been doing some acting gigs. So, maybe he's retired, or he's just taking some time out, or not sure what's going on with Grado. But I love Grado. So it would be cool. It would be cool to see Grado turn up again. He's definitely a lot of fun.
You're nothing but a selfish prick.
Jesus Christ. Really? Jesus. What the hell?
That one goes hard.
The Iceman comment? Who?
Yeah, no.
Who are we talking about?
Jesus. Anyway, moving on.
Keep it in.
I was testing that one. It didn't go over well. I apologize.
You had no clue what you got to say.
I'm like, fucking hell. Anyway, so let's move on to the advertised matches for Impact Wrestling. Obviously, we've got the Knockouts Tag Titles #1 Contenders match. That's the Influence versus Grace and Ellering. Now, this is an interesting one for me because I'm a big fan of Grace and Ellering as a team. But we talked about this last week, and as much as I love seeing Tennille Dashwood lose, you're right. I kind of feel that they need a win as a team. They've got a team name. If they're going to move forward as a tag team, then they need a win. So I have a funny feeling that we're going to see the Influence win on this. Can I just say, just on the Raj Singh thing, I don't think either of them are going to lose. I think there's going to be shenanigans, which I don't know. I might be wrong. The only one that's going to know, of course, is the only one that knows if I'm talking shit or not is obviously Bill. But I just have a feeling that this one is going to end in shenanigans. But there you go. So, what are your thoughts on the Influence versus Grace Ellering. I'm going to go with. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with Mark on this one because he loves the knockouts, don't you, Mark?
I do, and I also love the work that all 5 of these people are doing because Caleb is doing absolutely fantastic work in the knockouts division, bridging that gap. In fact, I think he's been a catalyst for a lot of the storylines in the knockouts division. I think he doesn't get enough credit for the role he's been playing. I'm kind of with you. If the Influence is going to have a name and a combined talk show segment every week, Tennille had been getting a lot of pins. Madison hasn't since she got back, right? I don't think they've had her actually pin anybody. So yeah, they could probably use the win. I prefer Grace and Ellering be built up because I'm with you, Bison. They are awesome together. I really like them together. I think because what we see on social media too, it's so genuine. They're really real friends in real life and they love each other. And that comes across and on the matching gear. And, they're both getting ripped up and in fantastic shape. But yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see the Influence win with some chicanery here to get that title shot. Sneaky though, by the way, the Knockouts tag division is building up teams at a loss to the main title a little bit, I think, because Deonna doesn't have a lot of challengers ready. But at least we're seeing the tag division develop. So
yeah, I agree. What about you, Joe? What do you think? I know you're a big Knockouts fan.
Yeah, Grace and Ellering, I think aren't gonna win this one, sadly. But like everyone's saying, if the Influence needs a win, they need to be more established as a team because we know Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering are a solid team. We've had that built up since Fire and Flavor were tag team champions, and Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering beat them. The way they built that oh god, my head's gone a bit fuzzy.
Are you back in the void? You back in the void, Joe?
Yeah, a little bit.
When there are 6 people on a panel, I mean, what do you expect? It's going to be fucked up. Everybody talking, something I don't know. Bill's surrounded by all sorts of impacts and cards, distracted. Cats pushes all over the table in the place. It's a nightmare. I don't know why you listen to this show. What a disaster. It's a long soundbite, man.
Jesus Christ. I didn't think that was ever going to end.
It's a long bite.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I think we need to cut that
show on the network.
We definitely need to cut that one though. Jesus. It's a good one.
Save that one you save that one for special occasions like that. Like Mark said, Caleb has done an amazing job pushing the whole rivalry, especially with Tennille Dashwood, bridging everything that she's done. So it's good to see everything that she's done finally paying off as well, because I was really critical of her when she come in, especially when they put her up against Taya Valkyrie. And even Kiera Hogan was carrying matches she had against her. And now she's one of the most improved wrestlers on the entire roster for 2021. So it's great to see Tennille Dashwood finally finding her place on the roster, and it's only going to be better for her with Madison Rayne on the team now, especially when she tried to get into it the first time and then ended up pushing her out the company because she messed everything up so badly for Madison Rayne. She walked out on the company in the storyline. And
yeah,
so
that's true.
It's great to see how all that went full circle and Madison Rayne just acted like nothing's happened. And it's going to be even more satisfying to see Jessica Havoc and Rosemary kick the shit out of them too than it is to see them beat Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm like I said, I am not a Tennille Dashwood fan. We all know that. I want to see her lose every fucking match.
You have beef with her.
I don't know. I just can't stand the woman.
Wow,
do you acknowledge her improvement? Or do you no?
Yes, no. Yeah, she's definitely improved. There's no doubt about it. And her character work that she's doing now is definitely much better. I just don't like her. Like she could like be the best fucking like knockout in the world, but like to me, she's just rubbish. So I just don't get it. I don't see the fascination.
And not in the she's a heel, so you're not supposed to like her way.
Well, maybe that. Yeah, no, I just don't fucking like her. Just get off my fucking TV. Right? That's it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
that's not actually from Australia, by the way, guys.
That's a shot fired, Steve.
Yeah, where's Kyle from Australia right now?
Come on, Steve. That's definitely, you know what I mean? That's a shots fired right there. But anyway. I could do it.
And you got the coup de grace. That's the big one. That's known as the main one. That's the good one.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Garrett, I think Randy. Somebody, hang on, who's just put that in there? Chris Maycock, interesting name. Yes, you're right, 100%. Now, moving on, we've got the X Division title tournament, which is going to kick off with a 3-May match, and that's going to be Trey Miguel versus Laredo Kid versus a debuting Alex Zane. Who's excited for this one? Do you know what, right? I got to say something here quickly before you get on with this. In the UK, Alex Zane is actually a presenter on TV, right? And he's actually he's a bit of a softie, really. He does all these top 10 like top 10 greatest comedy movies and all that kind of stuff, or top 10 greatest action flicks. Yeah, he does all those kind of things.
I fucking hate him.
Yes, he's a dick. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh,
luckily, the wrestler Alex Zane is nothing like that version.
Hey, Gary, somebody's asking for Gary.
Wait, we're all Gary now?
Hey, Gary. Yeah. Wait, what was it, Gary?
Everybody's Gary now.
We're all Gary.
Total Nonstop Gary.
Interestingly, Armin, I think you know where I stand, buddy. I'm pretty sure you know where I stand on that one. But anyway, oh my God, Gary. Right, so interestingly enough, so I'm gonna ask Gary what his thoughts are on this match. Go.
Okay.
5 other Garys.
Right. I think first of all, it's amazing that Alex Zane is coming to Impact Wrestling. One signing I did not expect to see at all. I was pretty impressed with his run at WWE. I didn't see a huge amount of it, but what I did see was awesome. And I'm really, really torn between him winning, Radio Kid winning, and Trey Miguel winning because I'm such a huge fan of all 3 of these guys. But I think Trey Miguel's going to win because he's been really, really putting out there that he wants this X Division title and he's going to get it next. Although, in my eyes, the next X Division champion is going to be Ace Austin. He's then going to use option C on the same night and do what they've not done before, and that is option C on the same night and go for the title that night.
Okay.
Okay,
Joe.
But I'm
cool.
going to say Trey Miguel goes through.
I agree. I'm a Trey Miguel fan. So, Gary, what are your thoughts? What about you, Gary? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I was really looking forward to this match, and I've not really seen much of Alex Zane in the ring, but since he's been added to this match, I've seen his name everywhere. You know, match after match after match has been popping up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. As for who wins it, Trey was my pick to become the next X Division champion, but the fact he's in there with LeRae, they've really been building him, haven't they? So I'm going to change my mind and go for LeRae the Kid, I think.
Okay. What about you, Gary?
It's interesting what they were doing with Matthew Raywald as well, isn't it? That's an
definitely.
Yeah, they had him out back during the Radio Kids match last week, and he was watching what's happening with John Scott. I think we're going to have him and John Skyler cross paths.
Yeah. So, Gary, what are your thoughts?
I think that the inclusion of Alex Zane here is poor Gary over there. Gary's just losing it. My God, hopefully he's okay.
Those Garys are composed that I know. This is kind of copacetic because my introduction to the world of Alex Zane was at All Glory a couple of years ago and Bound for Glory weekend, and he did some crazy dive off the balcony or whatever it was, and so right, that match, and honestly, that was one of the few matches that I actually paid attention because I just had all the
people from Impact Wrestling, buzzing past me, going from the tables, doing their stuff. So anyway, it was kind of like a fan, oriented fan fest thing, but it also had the matches going on at the same time. That guy stole the show.
Okay.
Totally. So the fact that he's coming back to Impact Wrestling, we'll have to wait to see to what degree. Because he's all over the place. He's in the Indies. He's doing New Japan Strong stuff coming up real soon. He's also been featured in a recent some Ring of Honor stuff.
Yeah, I think he's the number one contender at Ring of Honor.
Right, yeah, and good for him. Yeah. Good for him. So even if it is a one-off appearance, we'll have to wait and see. It's not a bad placement for a guy like him.
Definitely.
A guy like him absolutely shines in the X division.
Well, in this Gary's opinion, because I was with Jay there at All Glory, but I had seen
who's Jay
before. Oh yeah, the other Gary. This Gary says to this Gary that other than All Glory, because I actually saw his coming out party. I was lucky enough to see him at the
coming out. Is he gay? Is he gay?
No.
Oh, I thought you said coming. Oh, sorry. I thought you said his coming out.
Let's say his reintroduction to the wrestling world
was
at the PCW Backyard Show, the first one, where pretty much Tony Deppen said, you got to book this guy that he had worked with years prior. And he did a crazy, I don't know how many rotations, but he like 560, 620. It was crazy. And that guy he has all the ability in the world. I was hoping they'd sign him after All Glory. They didn't. Obviously, he went to NXT. That guy has, he could be a Jeff Hardy type guy. So I'm hoping there's maybe a long-term plan with him because I think he has a lot of potential.
Okay. So, Uncle Gary, what are your thoughts? You need to put your mic on.
We'll never hear Uncle Gary.
No idea what Uncle Gary's saying.
Sorry, I've been doing the comments and laughing.
Whose uncle is this? If the 80s don't come back and get their uncle for real.
Which one's Gary?
You guys can't take me anywhere. What's up, Gary? Sorry, what was the question?
Which one's Gary?
Main Gary.
Yeah. Sorry, Uncle Gary. We're talking about the Trey Miguel, Laredo Kid, and Alex Zane
match.
What
a great random announcement of a badass fucking match. I'm super hyped for that. I'm on the Trey train. Trey needs some wins, man. I'm sorry. I know Laredo Kid's new, but and I know Alexander's got a lot of hype. But dude, Trey's never had a title. This is our boy, fucking Trey Miguel. What the fuck?
Yeah, he needs it.
Dude up, man. Come on.
The guy turned down WWE to come back, right? Yeah. And what I mean, this guy needs.
He didn't turn them down. They turned him down because he lacked the passion, according to Big Nose.
No. Big Nose said that. Big Nose said that because he turned them down.
Oh well, tip for tat, shit for chat.
There you go.
Trey, now we always, every time somebody leaves, we're like, man, it'd be awesome if they came back. Trey fucking came back, so show him the love. Trey did come back. He said, know what? I like it here. I saw what they have to offer. It was probably a lot more money if I had to guess.
Yeah.
He still came back. So fucking
fair play. Strap a rocket to Trey.
Yeah.
Stick a belt on the boy. Let's see what he can do. I agree. So, listen, Garys, we need to move on. So, Madman Fulton versus the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. This is obviously Christopher Daniels' first match that we're going to see, against the Madman. I'm sure he's obviously going to win. I would imagine he's going to win, or we're going to get shenanigans with, of course, Ace in his corner, Madman Fulton's corner. What are your thoughts on this one, Gary Joe?
Make me sound like I'm a redneck.
You might Gary be a redneck if your name's Gary Joe.
I bet you like shrimp too.
No, I think Fulton's frustratingly going to take the loss in this match. Really, there's one thing I have to be critical about Impact Wrestling for this year. That is how Madman Fulton's been booked. I don't know what the hell is going on between them and him. I don't know if he's waiting for his contract to eke out and he's just going to go somewhere else, or most likely stick on the Indies and AEW is most likely the big place he's going to be heading towards. But I don't know what the hell's that. They've really dropped the ball about Van Fulton, and apart from having him as Ace Austin's backup. But it's going to be an awesome match. I'm not playing that down. I'm hoping it ends in shenanigans, and if it does, then we're just going to get a tag match between Josh Alexander and Christopher Daniels versus Ace and Fulton next week. So it's not really adding anything new.
Okay.
So it's a great match on paper, but the way Matt Van Fulton's been booked, it's just not. It's not going to be as well. I don't think it's going to be as good as I hope it would be.
Okay. What about Gary Bone?
That's even worse.
I think look, it's great to see the Fallen Angel back, and for those of you who are fans of the when they launch on Mondays, the BTE on YouTube, the first 2 minutes is all kind of like a reintroduction to Christopher Daniels as a solo act, the Fallen Angel, and he shows him working out and stuff. Like I said, even if you're not a fan of the Young Bucks and BTE and all that stuff, go watch the first 2 minutes because it's all Christopher Daniels. The promo's great, the effects are great, and it's great to see him come back to Impact and just like I don't remember who mentioned it earlier. It feels like closure, if that's what it is, because when he disappeared from the company, oh my God, how many years ago was that? 7 years ago, whatever it was. It was at a time where they were the OGs of TNA were dropping like flies. James Storm, Joe, AJ. All those guys just dropping like flies. It was hard to watch as an old TNA fan, and to see him come back to this company, which is night and day different from what it was before. There's no denying that at all. It's not an opinion; it's a fact. It's great to see him work with this younger crop. I'm hoping it leads to Christopher Daniels versus Ace Austin. Honestly, I think that'd be amazing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
What about Simply, Gary? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can't agree with anything more. Like, I really feel like Fulton has been misused, and I mean, I can't remember the last time he had a singles match. I really can't. But hopefully, I'm sure that Daniels will give him a fantastic match, and we'll hopefully see a lot from Fulton, and hopefully we'll see more of him going forward. But yeah, I like the idea of this maybe leading to something with Ace and Daniels.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty certain that's probably the way it's going to go. Again, it would be kind of Ace getting that rub from a TNA legend. I think it'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
It would be cool, very cool. Now, of course, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming that the street fight with William Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards is going to be the main event. May not be. I mean, it may be the X Division thing, possibly, but I think it's probably going to be the street fight with Eddie and William Morrissey. Again, can I just mention this Friday via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube is the interview that the Bison does. Bison Talks Impact with William Morrissey. Fantastic interview, 6 p.m. UK, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you watch it. It's a really, really good interview. He actually discloses something inadvertently, so you need to make sure that you watch it. I mentioned this to Jay yesterday.
Spoiler alert, Bison?
Maybe.
No, Lord Gary. Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Possibly. Not with regards to anything on the show, but something that people will probably be interested to know.
Oh,
all right. So,
you
never know. You never know. Yeah.
He's been wearing 5 foot heels for years.
Exactly. Yeah, he's actually grown an inch since he last measured his height. But
Oh, height.
Yeah.
Height. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's height. This was. I think this is going to be a beast of a match. I think these guys are going to absolutely go at it. We know that Eddie is an animal when it comes to these kind of hardcore matches, and he's not going to hold back. When you've got someone like Morrissey, the guy is a big old redwood. You're not going to hold back. So because it's not like he's a small person that you've got to be a little bit careful with. I think Eddie's going to go all out on this. It's going to be a very, very interesting match, and I'm really looking forward to it. What about you, Uncle Gary? What are your thoughts?
I feel like we've seen this one a few times now, and I don't know. I'm not super thrilled about this. I love Eddie, obviously, and I love what Willie Morrissey has done so far, but I just don't have any kind of level of excitement for this one personally. I think Morrissey, to me, felt like he was on a very specific trajectory, and now I don't understand what's going on with Morrissey, with Moose. Not that I dislike it. I think they're scary as shit together and will be an awesome tag team. But Morrissey's trajectory for me has been totally thrown off by this. So not a huge fan of this personally.
Okay.
I guess I'm the only one, it looks like. I mean, I love Eddie. I know it'll be a great match itself, but I'm ready for them to move on with Morrissey.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Gary Bone?
I think Morrissey's in a good place right now, and working with one of the biggest foundations in the roster of Impact Wrestling. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it'll lead to something else possibly tragic. We touched on that earlier as far as like the future of Sami Callahan, unfortunately. But just knowing that it goes that direction, I can't wait to see what happens between this two. And just I feel like the team of Moose and Morrissey, just the more I see them together, if that's what the future is for Morrissey, at least for this time being, over the next whatever, from now till Bound for Glory, say, possibly, those two like big beefalo guys being stuck together, it's not a bad thing. I'm looking forward to it. This whole episode coming up is mixed with all sorts of stuff. You got a crazy match like that. You got the three guys in the X division gonna blow the roof off the place. You got the return of the Fallen Angel. Great tag match with the Knockouts. A little bit of everything. I can't wait to see this episode. I'm not that excited, but thank you.
What about you, young Gary Joker? What are your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to this match. It's ticking off all the boxes that W. Morrissey had he wanted to, coming up to Bound for Glory, minus taking on Kenny Omega. He wanted to work with Moose and Sami Callahan and Eddie Edwards before Bound for Glory, and he was hoping maybe Kenny Omega, but Christian Cage got the title off of Omega for that had happened. And of course, everyone wanted a shot at Kenny Omega at that time as well. So that was he was like, if that doesn't happen, I'm fine with that. I'm happy to take what's given to me. The team of whether Moose is actually going to be at ringside or not is going to be interesting, because is he taken out? Has Sami and Eddie actually taken him out, or what's happening there? So that's going to be good. Eddie Edwards is my favorite wrestler of Impact Wrestling, right next to Rosemary. So I'm just going to be backing Eddie Edwards all the way in this match, and I can't fault his work ethic, and can't fault everything he's done for the company. He's just an absolute legend, and this is going to be so awesome.
Good. So that sounds pretty good to me. So I think all in all, I think this is going to be one hell of an impact tomorrow. But unfortunately, I think that's pretty much all we've got time for today for this 50th anniversary episode. Please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon. Very important for exclusive extra content. Who knows? The Bill Bison episode may turn up on there. Make sure that's going to go up on the $1 tier, so make sure you check that out. If it does, I've got to find it first. I'm sure I've got it somewhere.
$1 will get you the Bison in the field. Talk big enough, Tessa Blanchard.
Technically, my first ever TNI appearance.
Oh,
is it really?
The third thing when we both did our first one?
I believe I went on there before I even guest appeared on the other shows.
Interesting.
By like a week.
There you go. See, look at that. The exclusive. See, Impacted brings in the stars. I told you this now. Impacted is where all the stars want to be, right? You know, there you go. Ringside Gary was a first. He was there. Anyway, so if that turns out, that'd be great. I do have to try and find it though, so bear with me. But don't forget to watch tomorrow night's flagship show, Impact Live Review, directly after the show's aired on Twitch and YouTube. Also, all TNI shows are also available on the listen on YouTube, or you listen on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, pretty much wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are there, so make sure you check those out. Now, where can we find you on the socials? I'm going to go with Joe first. Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter at GAR empty space. Right, game face. You can find me on Twitter at JOK empty space, or you can jump onto Facebook, look for hashtag empty space, hashtag the void, or if you want to test your sanity, hashtag a daily giggle and step into the empty space of the mind of the Joker.
The Gary Asylum.
The Gary Asylum, definitely. And what about you? What about yourself, Mr. Gary Bone? What about yourself? Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me over at other little podcasts most of the time. Actually, very little of the time lately. Smash This Podcast. It's on YouTube and Twitch and wherever you find your podcast audio.
Good. What about you, Steve? Where can we find you, bud?
You can find me over at SimplySteve311 on Twitter, where everything Impact Wrestling related. Or you can find me over at WrestleBuddy.com, where I put a new wrestling article, Impact Wrestling related, normally every Thursday.
Good man. What about you, Uncle Mark? Sorry, Uncle Gary.
You can find me at Gary World Order. That's MARKQ World Order on Twitter. More, you can find me on the Discord. You can find the link in the description or in our socials. Join our community on Discord. That is where TNI fam really has new meaning. If you're already there, thank you. I love having you there. If you're not there, please join us. We'd love to get to know you. If you like this show, if you like the main show, if you like the throwback, if you like the TNI network of shows, the Discord is like that 24/7. There's a late night crew. There's people from other countries. There's the UK section. There's plenty of Americans there. There's represented from everywhere. We're building a global TNI fucking community. Join us on the Discord, please. Yeah. We stream shit. We watch pay-per-views. Yesterday we did Halloween Havoc 98 and people were watching along and we had a blast. So join us on the Discord. Sorry. That's it.
Fantastic. What about yourself? Was it Ringside Gary? What about yourself there, buddy?
You can find me doing all this random stuff. And then usually on Twitter is the best spot for me at Gary Silent once again, but at William M. Gardner, my name, when I'm not using Gary. I don't know. Joe just talked about Eddie. It's the 50th anniversary. Do we do a little rendition, a little a cappella Eddie theme song to close this out?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what. You start us off, Bill. You start us off. Bill.
Does everybody know it?
Yeah. Well,
Here we go. I'm taking back what's mine.
Mine.
Can't hold me down.
Hold me down.
I am the fire.
Whoa! Yeah, that do.
50th anniversary.
We just all join in on the whoa. There you go.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. And I'll tell you what, you can find me at Lord Gary 45. That's at LORD BIOSON 45.
BARY.
Yes, I did catch that, Mark. So make sure that you check me out on the Twitter sphere. I do talk. I've actually picked up loads of follows this week. Like I think I've had about 20 this week alone. I tell you, I am so popular. Honestly, I can't believe just absolutely, it's just ridiculous how popular I am.
Gary's the quarterback. He's popular.
I'm only joking. Anyway, so no, great. If you want to follow me, talk about wrestling, I'm your man. Make sure you do. It's fantastic that all you guys, come and check us out every single week. It's just amazing. And as you have managed to get to the end of the show, it must mean that you like it. So please take time to give us a big thumbs up. It helps us get up the rankings on YouTube. If you're new to us, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK and US teams. Great content each and every single week. With all that said, I've been Bison, and they have been the Joker, Simply Steve, Bill, Jay, Mark, the Garys, and this has been the celebrationary episode 50 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
We're Bison! We are